Now let's talk about the historic background of Tingatinga, and to begin with, let's talk briefly about the founder of the Tingatinga. In 1968, the original Tanzanian artist Edward Said Tingatinga started his own painting style of African wild animals.
From where he comes from, mud huts, the people from the villages, they usually paint those huts by using charcoal because they don't have any kind of paint, so they would soak charcoal in water and stir it, and they would paint symbols of animals that are surrounded, are found in their surroundings. It could be an elephant, it could be a giraffe, it could be antelope, anything, leopard, lion, whatever that is around their environment. They would paint that in their houses to decorate the houses. And so for him, when he moved to Dar es Salaam, nobody was doing that, because in Dar es Salaam is more of different cultures. And for him, when he moved to Dar es Salaam, he started doing those paintings at his spare time in the evening after he had done his gardening job. So when he started doing that, and he was working in a neighborhood where it was more of white people who were working in Africa at that time.
Kwa hiyo yeye ndio mwanzilishi, alianza kazi kwa kufanya tu yeye mwenyewe michoro tu, alikuwa yeye alikuwa ni mbunifu. Kwa hiyo alivyokuwa anachora chora katika karatasi na nini, watu wakawa wamependa sana, wakamshauri kwamba atengeneze angalau kwenye singboard, wanaweza wakatokea wateja wakanunua. Akafanya hivyo, basi zikawa wanatokea watu wa kupenda kazi zake na kununua, ndio ikawa mwanzo wa kazi hii.
And a woman who was a white woman discovered him, and she was so interested in the pictures, and she had purchased the picture from him. And for him, after that, he realized he can make a living out of it. So he started making more pictures. He would draw them in a piece of cardboard, and then he moved to canvas. And so it was his part-time job after he did the morning job as a gardener. And after that, it was becoming more of a tourist business.
And from your view, how do you think subject matter affect the composition?
Typically, most of the compositions are fairly still centered as they were in the traditional Tingatinga art. The subjects are usually in the middle of the frame, surrounded by a reasonable amount of background that posits them as indisputably the center of attention in the piece of art. Now, when you have more dynamic sorts of art in Tingatinga subjects, those will typically be treated on a more square-oriented format, because the square is a little harder to deal with in terms of composition, and it also allows for as your eye moves around the square, it's not moving horizontally or vertically, it's moving around, and it creates a feeling subconsciously of more dynamic visual movement. So your dancers and scenes that are much more activity oriented would be more square.